Web CFS, Tuesday, April 21st, 421. Welcome to Grippy. We have 200 swings, and in between those swings, after every 25 swings, we're gonna stick in some vertical pulls. We're gonna do 15 of those. All right, so we'll start with 25 swings. Our setup with our feet is gonna be traditional squat distance. So I'm not super close with my feet underneath my hips. I'm a little bit wider. And then if anything, I wanna make sure my knees are sort of out to the side to make room for the bell, okay? I usually set myself up over the bell, and then realizing I have to have the bell in front of me, I simply jump back. So you do want the bell to start in front of you, whether you jump back or just stand behind it and then reach down. So the bell starts in front of you, I go into my swing, and then to dismount, just so you can see that, I'm gonna stay in that hinge and then let the bell go back in front, all right? So again, that's your entrance and exit. For the swing itself, the bottom of the swing looks very similar, I'll show you, to my box jump. So my body is at about 45 degrees. The kettlebell comes very close to my undercarriage, nowhere near my knees. It's very close up in here. And then the top of the swing, I enter into full extension. So my knees are nice and straight. I'm gonna go into a little bit of a posterior tilt or a thrust with my hips, and then my lats are gonna stay engaged, all right? So you'll feel very solid in this position. Instead of focusing on the bell or the pack coming up, which often ends up turning off the glutes or leaning into the low back or disengaging the lats, we want to instead think about really going into that posterior tilt. You do the same thing when you do those couch thrusts. If you're not doing that posterior tilt with your thrust, there's a good chance you're going into your low back. So I want you to focus on that today. When you feel your glutes turn on, you can thank me. All right, so whether you're doing a kettlebell or a pack, right? With the pack, you gotta get creative and make sure that it's not hitting the floor, so maybe holding it in some different positions, and then same thing, using my legs to swing that pack up and dismounting the same way, all right? After you do 25 of those, I'm gonna go into my vertical pull, whether you're pulling from suspension straps like this, or a blanket, a towel, a rig, row, it doesn't matter. Figure out what works well. If you have no ability to do a vertical pull, you could do a bent over row, okay? But for the vertical pull, I'm sitting down on the floor and then pulling myself up and lowering down. Obviously, if you can bang out 15 pull-ups, go do that, but most of us are gonna use the help of our feet on the floor, all right? If I walk my feet back, it makes it a lot easier. I just wanna make sure that I'm still sitting down so that it doesn't turn into a row. If you wanna make it harder, walk all the way underneath, and then again, I'm sitting my hips down to the floor and then pulling myself up there. All right, so you have 15 of those, and then you go back to the swings. If you are setting up with a towel and a blanket, like a bed sheet, I do love this for safety. This door I would not use because when I pull on it, I'm gonna be pulling that door open and it's just gonna pop open. So for safety, make sure you're on the other side of the door so that when you close the door, it actually closes to you, so don't use that one. Okay, so that is your grippy. When you're all done with the 25, the last 200 swings, you'll finish with another set of 15 because it's after every 25. So you will finish with 15 pulls. We're gonna go into a little burner. So to get the glutes a little more, we're gonna do a butterfly and, butterfly and clams. So we're gonna use a Smart WOD timer. If you wanna download that, it makes it a lot easier. You could obviously do it without, but what we're gonna do if you have that timer is go to the EMOM setting, and you're going to select every 60 seconds for 8 minutes. And that's gonna ding and give you the halfway. It actually says, it's the halfway, it's very nice. But it also visually shows you how much time you have left, so I really like that. It's a Smart WOD timer you'll download. Again, you're gonna change it to the EMOM setting every 60 seconds for 8 minutes. Butterfly hip lifts are what we're gonna do first. So putting your feet in butterfly just like you would for your normal ab mat sit-ups. I'm gonna lay back and lift. So I'm doing 60 seconds of butterfly hip lifts. Then I'm gonna go to a side clam for a minute. So with this one, my feet are together. I'm gonna be in side plank with my elbow. I'm gonna lift up into side plank so my bottom knee stays down. I'm gonna also open that top knee. So I'm gonna lift and lower. My feet are staying together. My bottom knee is staying down. Looks like that. So for 60 seconds, then you go back to the butterfly hip lifts, And then I'll end up doing those side clams on the other side. So lifting, you will definitely feel this in your abductors or your glutes, which is really nice since we don't have our X band walks. And you're gonna end up doing 2 rounds of that. So if you set the timer for 8 minutes, you'll end up doing 2 rounds of what I just showed you, and that is your little finisher after your grippy. Happy Tuesday.